All right. So before we start the video, I just want to start with saying that if you ever felt like society rewards bad people, I'll give kind of my hypothesis on this idea, but I do feel like society does reward bad people. And maybe you agree with me. And if you do agree with me, maybe you agree with what I'm going to say. But basically, when I was growing up in middle school, I remember there was this kid that would throw milk in the cafeteria, and he would be caught sketching on desks, putting gum on the bottom of desk, disrupting class, and he would be sent to the principal's office by multiple different teachers throughout the month, throughout the semesters, and by the end of the year, I realized that he was the principal's favorite student. The principal would greet him in the microphones by name. The principal would say hey to him every time he walked past the student in the hallways. And I just thought, why is it that he's being rewarded? Right? He was this bad student, still somewhat bad, somewhat improved, but he's being rewarded. And it just I made this realization a couple years later when I was like in high school. But the idea is that he had proximity to the principal, right? And this is not about like any political or any like sort of gain where you have proximity over this person, but this is more like him breaking out the norm. Basically, every other student is in the class behaving, and we have this one special student that's behaving out the norm. He gets special treatment, more individual one-on-one timing, and that just creates a different experience for the principal. So out of the principal's mind, basically, he becomes the favorite student. And I would think that how come this principal doesn't reward the good student, right? How come he doesn't know the name of his 4.0 students, but he knows the name of this kid that throws milk in the cafeteria, right? It was such a disconnect to me. And I don't think you can blame the principal. It's kind of weird. It's like a situation where he is only human too, so he can only remember as much as he can, and this person just comes out about. But that doesn't take away from the fact that this is exploit in real life. Um, I'll go up a little further. Right now in sales, I work in sales, and I've worked in sales for a couple of years now, so I'm quite experienced. And in sales, what I've realized is there's a certain type of customer that genuinely the deal would be easier the more truth you withheld, right? And sales make it blatantly obvious, right? Oftentimes you don't even have to lie, and that's where the morality is very cloudy, right? You are never really telling a lie, you are just withholding information to a really good amount, really well to, maximize the profit for the business. And at a certain level, you just feel like it's not the right thing to do. And I think what I've realized is there's a there was a line a couple months ago that I did not cross, and I'm very happy at myself for that. But there's a line that you can cross, and it will make you more money temporarily. But it's kind of like a sell your soul kind of thing where I've talked about this thing called morality tax, and anytime I've done anything bad that goes against my moral character, I feel a little worse about myself. And if I were to do bad things long enough, it would be horrible. And that's kind of what happens, right? If you become this person that bends his morality, you just kind of become a shell of yourself. Um, but going back, even in the adult world now in business, the being bad, being the person that is a little bit more ulteriorly motivated. I don't know if those are words. Um, I think that is being it's fully rewarded, and I've noticed that since I was in middle school. I noticed it now, but I don't think it's an excuse to be that way. I think true power, true skill, any of those sought after things are in your ability to stand without those things. But let me know, as always, if you have anything to add. I'm always here to listen.